The following is a story of my hunt for an ancient Germanic spirit, featuring my bad English. Be me, living in a small village on the border of Germany and the Netherlands, testing my new night vision cam for a school project. Wolves are turning back to the Netherlands through Germany. It's been all over the news. Found a nice tree in the woods near a hill called the Tankenberg, looking for a money shot. Install my sweet new cam, hook the baby up to a nice tree, come back the next day and look at the pictures. Nothing but birds and small deer. Just spent 400 euros to spy on birds. Feels bad.jpg. Repeat this for a week or two. More birds, deer, and some hogs too. Send all pictures to a friend/project partner from school for further review. Next day. Got home from a family dinner at some Spanish restaurant. Turn on PC. 3 emails from friend. 2 of them are about some rare birds. In the last email he urges me to look at the picture from a week ago. Open the folder. Open pic and see what appears to be a feral ghoul from Fallout 4 riding a hog. Holy flip.jpg. Almost tear of my effing balls as I was scratch them at the moment. Lose my shizzle a bit. I call friend. Don't know what to do. Go to police? No. What are they gonna do? Look for Dr. Seuss character riding a pig? Don't think so. Next day at school. Talk to a friend about the pic. Too afraid to show pic to anyone. They might think I lost my mind or something. Ask him, did you show the pic to anyone, Anon? Yeah, my parents and my uncle. They think it's pretty funny. Weekend. Go back home. Show pic to my mother. She says it's a weird picture like the ones on the Discovery Channel. Says grandpa used to tell stories about a man riding a hog. That's really specific.jpg. Next day I go to see Gramps. He pours me a drink as always. Corin Brand, I'm not gonna pronounce that. Something I can't pronounce, or gin, as you guys call it in Trumptopia. My family is fueling my alcoholism. Gonna die before I turn 30 for sure. Ask him about a guy riding a hog. At first he's clueless about what I'm talking about. He remembers and smiles. He told me about a spirit called Dirk met den Beer, Dirk with a hog. Says he's a protector of these woods and something about an old farmer being cursed for trying to shoot a rifle at God on Kerstnacht, Christmas Eve. He goes to the bookshelf to get an old leathery book with gold ornaments. I don't know how to describe it in English. Ofreisselsagen book was the title on the cover. Not even sure if I said that right. A book with stories about local legends like dwarves, water monsters, and witches. Under the chapter Wild Hunt, I found multiple stories about Dirk met den Beer, some about the cursed farmer, and one about him being some kind of god like in pagan times. Some real Viking shizzle. I say to my grandpa, that's a weird name for a god, Dirk. He smiles. That's not his real name, Anon. You can't speak his real name, it'll bring bad luck. What is he, Voldemort? I said, smiling. Even just seeing the Wild Hunt is a bad omen. My grandma hears my grandpa talking about the spirit. She looks at us and says, wasn't he called Fro or Frege or something? In one fluent motion, my grandpa jumps out of his chair and begins to raise his voice. You don't speak his name. What did I say just now? Oh, flip.jpg. Didn't know my grandpa was this superstitious. After he calms down, I showed him the picture I took of the thing in the woods. My grandpa is silent. He even has the spear. He mumbles after a minute. What? I take a closer look, and you can almost make out a spear behind the figure. He misses a war horn, said Grandpa. A horn? I asked. He turns the page of the book, and there's a real nice-looking picture of a Germanic-looking dude riding a hog. He's blowing a horn. What does the horn do? I ask. Get some vague answer, something along the lines of it helps him hunt. A couple of days later, back home I do some research on Dirk/Fro. Turns out he was like an old Germanic god. Almost every Germanic country has its own name for him. In the Netherlands and Germany they call him Fro or Frey, and in the Scandinavian countries they call him Freyr. Reading some information on the Tankenberg where I took pictures, there's a small pagan temple for some goddess named Tamfana, a temple for human sacrifice, possibly. Go to the temple just for the heck of it. Not much to see, just small reconstruction of the temple and a nice view of the forest. Encounter some locals that live near the temple. Ask them about Tamfana. They proudly tell about the goddess of harvest and nature. I asked the man about Dirk. He told me that every Christmas Eve they round up all their stuff and bring it inside their home. Because if you don't have all your stuff together at midnight, Dirk will come and wreck it. Maybe even you. I ask, are there people who have seen Fro? The man looks at me like I bleeped his wife. Never say that name, he said. I laugh and said, what'll he do, steal your broom? The guy said again, never say that name. He walks off. Weirdest interaction I've ever had. A week passes and some dude on the local news says he's seen a man on a hog. That's it must be. Try to contact the man but no response. Next day, got his address. Ride to his house. Nobody home. I return home. This looks like a dead end. 3 days later, it turns out the guy committed suicide. Shizzle's getting real now. That's what you get for looking funny at someone, I guess. I don't even know what that means. Decide to go to the police and show them our man Fro. Man walks in and gives me the most disgusting cup of coffee I ever had. They take some more info from me, like the location and date the pic was taken. Return home. Can't sleep thinking about our boy Fro. 4 in the morning, loud knocking on our door. Some goons from the government or police, I don't know. They seize all my equipment, my camera and the new camera I bought specially for Dirk, my phone and laptop. Some thick-looking guy with a thin comb-over asks if I have more pictures on that hard drive. No. They take it anyway. There was some porn on there as well. I know, just the regular stuff, don't worry. Luckily I backed all my pics in Google Drive. Hackerman.gif. Grandpa passed away. Grandma said he wasn't doing too well lately. I begin to get paranoid and think it's because of the Dirk thing. I think the government is hiding something. Bought some new cameras, currently hanging in the forest around Tankenberg. Struggling with my study, will become a dropout soon. Obsessively watching my cameras for any sign of Dirk just to prove that he's out there.